Hey there guys, we're here at the PA Farm Show. I'm here with Charlie Batch of Cookies.
There you go.
I'm Shelby Vaccaro.
Welcome to Lancaster Made, where we take you behind the scenes to things being made in and around Lancaster County.
Hundreds of people in Lancaster are purchasing their tickets in hopes of winning the Mega Millions. Or I should say billions, because it is the biggest jackpot ever.
Throughout the country, thousands of people are trading in their traditional home lifestyles for something a little bit tinier. And some of those homes are made right here in Lancaster County.
For the first time in pinball history, Delaware is hosting 16 pinball pros from all the surrounding states to go head-to-head to find out who is the best in Delaware. And according to the pros, it takes a lot more than just what's in the wrist. For the first time in 4 years, the University of Delaware's men and women's swimming teams are heading down south. But competing in the pool wasn't all they were doing. But the more games you win, the bigger the stage, and this is the state semifinals. How do you help to keep those teams and nerves in check? Recently, you became the 7th player in LL girls history to score 2,000 points. How does that feel?
It's amazing, but I couldn't have done it without my team.
Charlie, what brought you out here today?
I'm just out here supporting the local dairy farmers, and have to say it's not just about professional athletes with dairy products. It's about everybody in the whole.
And you played for the Steelers. Did you drink milk?
Absolutely.
Last year you guys made history, and then this year you guys are attacking the title. How do you feel like it's going so far?
Pretty good. You know, we're off to a 5-0 start.
Peyton, last year you guys went 32-0. You won section, league, district, and the state championship. What was that ride like, and what was your favorite memory from it? And you guys are not new to the state semifinals and all the pressure that comes with it, but overall, what do you feel like your team is going to have to do on Friday to really come out on top and move on?
Yeah,
I would say it's definitely working. You guys are 8-0. How do you feel like this team is handling the pressure that comes with an undefeated season? And how is the energy in the locker room? Give me some details.
All right, LMP reporter Shelby Vaccaro was out at Tuesday's practice, so we'll throw it to Shelby for those interviews with the Barons as they prep for this Friday state semifinal.
2 years, back-to-back state semifinal appearances. How does it feel?
feels good. We're excited to get going this week. We got a good opponent in Upper Dublin, so we're going to get after them.
Is there anything you learned from last year's appearance that will help you going into this year?
I just think the week, preparing for the week, all the outside stuff that you got to take care of. It's been a little bit smoother this year, but the football thing it's the same.
The last 3 playoff games, is there anything you learned about your team that you might have not known prior?
They just continue to maintain their composure, keep coming play after play. The last 3 weeks, they've put a lot of pressure inside the box. We had to really gut some runs out last week because Calico wasn't giving us much, and Tyler was still able to kind of get 100 yards, but we had to go to the air, so we were able to do that. And I just think we're finding that we're multiple in what we do, so that's good.
And when you watch some film on Upper Dublin, what are some of the things that they do that concern you going into Friday?
I just think they're solid all around. They got some athletes. They look long and rangy. They got a shifty tailback, got some good corners, and they move.
2 years, back-to-back semifinal appearances. How's it feel?
It feels pretty good. We just got to make sure that we play our game whenever it comes to game time. Make sure we don't let the elements affect us as well.
Exactly. And when you get to this big stage, what do you guys do to keep your nerves in check?
We just make sure that we practice. We give our everything during practice so we can get ready for the game. We need to play our game, read our keys correctly, and not let the moment get too big.
And how is the energy in the locker room? Give me some details.
It's pretty intense. I mean, we won districts. We're pretty pumped. Hopefully we can get a win on Friday and get back to the state final, which we haven't been able to do since 2009 here, I'm pretty sure, and we can't look past that, though. We got to win this Friday.
Okay, Shelby, thanks a lot for those interviews.
About 5 miles southwest of Lancaster is a small borough with a rich history for learning.
Well, it was originally Millersburg. It was named after John Miller, who founded Millersville. About 20 years before he founded Millersville, he still bought land, a lot of land.
From the draw of a hat, Mr. Miller randomly selected names. Each name chosen was given the opportunity to buy 1 or more 5-acre lots. The process continued until all 300 acres were sold.
And there was nothing set aside. There's no commons, there's no space for churches or schools or a center of the town. So if you go through the town, you'll say, where's the square? There is no square.
They also have community parks, memorials, and many restaurants.
From the time it was started in 1764, really, when all the plots, I think, were basically sold, the growth of Millersville was very, very slow.
That was until 1855 when a well-known teacher, Lewis M. Hobbs, and a wealthy farmer, Christian B. Herr, started to influence others that in order to give kids higher than an elementary education, they needed a permanent training facility for teachers, creating the Lancaster County Normal School, which was then changed to Millersville University in 1893.
From there, the community started to grow.
The expansion of the school led to the demand of public transportation.
In 1874, a rail line was put in from here into Lancaster.
And right here on Manor Ave is the last surviving trolley stop in Lancaster County.
Approximately 8,000 residents, 8,000 students.
The university has 19 intercollegiate sports, which are some of the many exciting events that go on throughout the town.
The thing that keeps it together more than anything, I think, might be the Millersville Parade, which used to be called the Community Parade, now it's called the Community University Parade.
Which is a yearly event that aims to bring both the community and students together. And the 2018 parade is on Saturday, October 13th.
It's really big. It's not just trucks and tractors. We have like 25 bands. Last year, they had over 20,000 people coming in to watch the parade.
Today, Millersville University is ranked in the top 30 public universities in the North. For Lancaster Online, I'm Shelby Vaccaro. We're here at the Lancaster Creative Factory where we're going to learn how to make a glass flower.
Glass blowing might use more modernized equipment, but the essence of working with glass dates back to the 1st century. And for decades, it was held as a highly coveted and at times sacred craft. But what is it made out of?
It's a silica material, so silica or flint, and there's some sort of fluxes in there that lower the melting point. That's basically what glass is. And it's at 2,050 degrees, 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Throughout his 15-year career, Kevin has made a variety of things, including light fixtures, statues, as well as chandeliers.
Favorite part is that it really takes focus, so you can't be thinking about anything else. If you're, rolling the glass and you look away for a second or two, it bends and ends up on the floor. So it takes a lot of focus, and that I really enjoy.
During his weekly classes, he teaches people how to make bowls, cups, glass medallions, as well as a glass flower, which is what we decided to make.
For the glass flower, the first thing we need to do is gather 2 times out of the furnace. And the first time you gather a little glass, the next time you gather a little more glass. So that's the idea of doing 2. You can't do it all in once. And then we add color to the outside, and then we melt it in the glory hole, and then stand the rod up and do the face with color, and then we melt that in. Then we sit at the bench and pull the petals kind of vertically, and then reheat, then pull them slightly out, the petals, and then we reheat. And one more time, ideally on the 3rd time, we stretch it out, let the stem sag, and then roll the pipe, create a curlicue. Then we crack it off and heat it with the blowtorch and put it in the annealer.
And when we were done, Kevin showed us how to make a glass pumpkin, which involved a great deal of technique, a handful of layers, tools, and a whole lot of blowing, which helps to expand the glass into any shape you want to make.
When people come, they see it, they're riveted, they just sit in the seat or they stand there and like wide-eyed, like, wow, this is amazing.
Well, I thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you. It was wonderful. Appreciate it, Shelby. Yeah.
For Lancaster Online, I'm Shelby Vaccaro.
It's Ag Week, and we're here at Landis Valley Museum where we're going to learn about the craft of broom making. Let's go check it out.
A well-balanced broom should stand on its own.
What time era did they make these brooms?
Well, originally, before the 1700s, up to the 1700s, it was just a besom broom, which was just twigs or grasses that was wrapped with hemp or twine. Didn't last very long, didn't work very well, but it was important for them to try and keep the house clean, especially the kitchen where they did their open hearth fireplace cooking. And then the late 1700s, a man named Levi Dickinson saw this broom corn growing out in the field. It looks just like a corn plant. It has a tassel that grows up the top, but it's not a member of the corn family. And he took that tassel off, took the seeds off, and that's when he started making brooms in the late 1700s. Then soon after that, they started with a kick winder, and it really hasn't changed much since then at all.
Why did you get into this, and how long have you been doing this for?
That's a good question. I went to Liddit's Craft Fair and saw a man there that was selling brooms with the natural sticks, and I really like sticks. I go out and collect them after windstorms, so I brought him one and I said, could you make me a broom out of this? He goes, sure. So he made me one, and then a month later I came back and I said, could you make me 3 more for my 3 children? He says, sure, but you should really make them yourself. So I took a class at Landis Valley, and then I took a course down to John Campbell in North Carolina, and now I am a broom maker here at Landis Valley. So about 4 years is how long I've been doing it.
All right, well, I thank you for having us here and showing us how to make a house broom.
Thank you very much.
This is a great broom, Genevieve. Awesome demonstration. To learn more about other demonstrations, head to landisvalleymuseum.org or check out Harvest Days this weekend as well. For Lancaster Online, I'm Shelby Vaccaro. I'm going to keep brooming a little more.
Shelby. Yeah, nice.